Good morning, Lakeland, and all who inhabit it. Welcome to another spring break edition of the I have no idea what I'm doing hour.
Yes.
Matt, on Monday, I actually did an impromptu card opening series by myself.
Really?
There was nobody else here. It was actually awesome.
That's cool.
So we'll be doing that later, but first, we have some other things we're going to do, right, Matt?
That's right.
We are going to pick out I'm going to fill out a bracket for our NCAA men's basketball tournament. And you said you've already done two.
I've done two already.
And Jeremiah says lies as he walks in. Right, Jeremiah?
Hey, Tim.
Yeah? Oh.
Because he probably didn't turn on the headphones.
There we go.
I actually did turn on the headphones, but I guess I didn't turn them up high enough.
I didn't know I was even talking.
More than likely.
So, anyway,
Matt, you're fired.
for you. So, we're going to do the tournament
Yeah.
today. I think we should do you guys want to do one bracket, or do you want to do three separate ones and then compare? Or so, I mean,
we could
could
do three separate and then compare.
You want to do three separate?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could talk about each game. Well, we could sort of do that.
Okay.
And who you have for each. So I think we can all agree. Hold on, let me get a pen.
That's
It's
what I'm
something
working on.
hard to write on.
Yeah, I may have to use the table here.
Yeah, that's true. Me too.
Just grab one of the binders. That's what I did.
Oh, we'll do
I
that.
grabbed one of the binders in the back room.
Okay, so I already did two brackets already for the tournament challenge on ESPN.
You're fired.
So I'm conforming to mainstream corporate society, but
I'm not mainstream corporate society.
He's just a sellout because he likes Donald Trump.
yes, for you. Anyway,
Do you feel charged, Donald?
no, I feel like I should be playing basketball for Ohio State.
Why did I ask him?
I don't know why I was saying that.
Then
But anyway,
letting his, 12-year-old tax return out.
Oh, jeez.
Oops. Too soon.
I don't release my tax documents. That's my business.
No, Donald, you're a lawyer.
You're all fired. Anyway, so that was an awesome sound. I say we start in the east. Is that okay with you guys?
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I somewhat stirred there.
Okay.
So taking a look at this region, Tim, what strikes you as a game, the most interesting first-round matchup that you see?
Really?
His phone going off?
Oh, I don't know who that is, but that's okay.
It's Jesse Eastman.
No, it's not Jesse. As far as what an upset is could be concerned.
No, just a game that'll be very interesting to watch.
How about Wisconsin, Virginia Tech?
Yeah, that
The
looks like
8-9.
a good game. The
I think
8-9
that's
matchup.
good. I think that's going to be the closest matchup here. I think we can all agree that Villanova is
It's going
going
to
to
beat Mount St. Mary's.
beat the
Yeah.
crap out of Mount St. Mary's. Okay, maybe this pen doesn't want to work. I do not feel in charge. This pen doesn't work.
For you.
I would love to see Duke go down in the first round.
Didn't they go down in the first round like 2 or 3 years ago?
Both times they were a 3 seed.
Well, they can make it past the final 8 for many years now. Either they go down either first, second, or third round.
Do you not like Duke?
Yes.
Why?
Just because
Okay.
of K and the way he runs things.
Okay.
Just like
Understandable.
Michigan, I just hate them too.
A shout out to Steve Gagliardi for actually rooting for Michigan Wolverines, even though he lives in Ohio.
He's a Michigan fan.
I know.
Oh boy, if he ever when he comes back here, we're gonna have a nice debate on the
If you're
football.
here at 9 in the morning.
By the way,
Oh, I'll come here for that.
guys, It's 11:44 and Michigan still sucks.
Yep.
There I said it.
The funny thing is, after they ended up losing against the Buckeyes,
Yeah.
he walks out and I said, "Hey, Steve, what time is it?" And he goes and looks at his watch. Well, he said, "Yeah, Michigan still sucks." He just sat there. It's like, oh, he just fell into that.
You know what? I'm going to pick Va Tech in the Wisconsin-Va Tech game. What do you guys think?
You know, this is they were actually talking about it on the tournament. I've been watching tournament stuff for the past 3 days. And, you know, Wisconsin, they got second. They lost to Michigan in the Big Ten championship game.
Right.
But Wisconsin all year, they have had a team that they can really beat you up and down the floor. And Virginia Tech has had a couple of nice wins, I'll give them that. But I think Wisconsin was the most cheated team in their seeding. You know, I really believe that they could be a 7 or a 6 seed, but you know, to me they're better than, you know, a couple of teams. I think they're better than South Carolina. I could see them beating Southern Methodist, even giving Virginia a game. So when you look at Wisconsin, I just think they're going to run. I think they're going to run all over Virginia Tech.
I really don't. I think they're going to be deflated from the Michigan game.
Well, it's been a couple of days.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, that game. When is that game? That game is
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
at
yeah.
9:40. I'm gonna definitely watch that game. That's gonna be a really good one. And I think the winner of this game could actually give Villanova a game. I mean, I don't think.
No, I agree with that.
I don't think that Villanova has the easiest route, even though it
Villanova
seems.
is not invincible like they were last year.
No, well, even last year, you look at that team. They clicked at the right time, and they you know, and they hit a game-winning shot to win the national championship. It wasn't like it was, you know, 70-52.
Right.
It was a, you know, clutch shot at the end of the game.
No.
Otherwise, North Carolina, we're talking about them as repeating.
Jeremiah's not going to like who I think is going to the Final Four in this region, but we'll get there.
Okay. Does Grayson Allen play for this team?
Yes, he does.
Oh, really?
You know, the sad thing is I don't follow and I don't even know who plays who, and that. I just go and pick them.
So what are you thinking with Virginia UNC Wilmington? You think that's no chance of UNC Wilmington pulling out a massive upset on Virginia?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. What about you, Matt?
I do.
Do you? Did you pick them?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought that if I was watching the CBS Sports selection show on Sunday night, and they had this thing where UNC Wilmington last year they defeated, was it Michigan State or what? It was somebody. It was like a 5 seed or a 4 seed last year in the first round.
Okay.
And they have brought back that entire starting 5 from that team last year to this year. That entire starting 5 is back. Virginia is a very good team. Don't get me wrong. But I really do believe that UNC Wilmington, if there's any team, I think the only 2 teams in this region that could really upset their first round game is, you know, East Tennessee State or UNC Wilmington. You know, you don't really consider a 9 beating an 8 an upset. You don't really consider if Marquette was to beat South Carolina an upset. So between those 2 teams, yeah, I think UNC Wilmington's a very good team in this region. Keep an eye on them.
You know, out of what was actually shocking is I agree about ETSU. I think they could pull it out against Florida.
Against Florida?
Yeah, I think they could pull it out.
I think looking at, I have Florida winning that game, but at the same time, looking at both of those games, one of those teams are going to get upset. That's going to be my bold prediction for this region. Either Virginia or Florida is going to get upset. I think it's going to be Virginia, but we'll see how it goes.
I think it's going to be Florida.
Okay.
I really do.
We'll say that. Because Florida hasn't really done anything this year to deserve a number 4 seed. If anything, it should be flipped. I think Florida should be the 5 and Virginia should be the 4.
And that's why I'm going with ETSU. How about the SMU Providence USC area?
SMU won the American Athletic Conference, and
Yes, they did.
this team is very good. They could even, I have them upsetting Baylor in the next game. I have them giving Duke a game. I really do believe that, SMU is another team like Wisconsin. They were poorly seeded, and I believe that SMU is going to make people realize that in this tournament.
Yeah, I have SMU and I have Baylor. What about you over there, Jeremiah?
I have SMU going to the final 8.
Oh, okay.
I haven't went down to 4 and all that yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I have them taking out Duke at 16, Sweet 16.
Okay. Yeah, as far as the last 3 games go for the first round, I have Baylor, South Carolina, and Duke. I'm not really expecting any upsets. I could see Marquette beating South Carolina.
I have Marquette winning. I've watched them numerous on accident this year. I've seen them on ESPN play like 3 times, 4 times this year, and they've impressed me pretty much every time. Just not the tournament, their conference tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Marquette plays in a good conference, and I
actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little more, South Carolina started out strong.
Yeah,
they were the last undefeated team.
Yeah,
and then they fell off the face of the earth. I'm actually going to go Marquette.
Yeah,
I don't. About it.
Looking at South Carolina, if they can get that mojo back that they had at the beginning of the season, they could be a dangerous team in this region.
But they're not going to get the mojo back.
No, I don't believe they will either. I just don't know what happened, mid-December, January to them that really made them fall. Yeah, I don't know what it was. There was really no injuries. It was just maybe conference play really helped them to start falling.
So what I think we should do is just go break down up to the Final 4 in each region.
All right.
So I'm going to have a shocker of a Sweet 16 appearer, but we'll get there in a second. I got Nova beating Vautech. I think Vautech could give them a game, but it's Nova.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. I have ETSU going to the Sweet 16.
Really?
I think they're going to upset both Virginia and Florida.
That could be huge. And that would be the Cinderella story.
That's the Cinderella.
That's your Cinderella?
Yeah, that's
okay.
ETSU's by Cinderella. It's going to end against Nova. But I see them as by Cinderella getting to the Sweet 16.
I see it the exact opposite. I see UNC
Wilmington getting to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I have UNC Wilmington going to the Sweet 16.
Wouldn't it be awesome to see ETSU versus UNC Wilmington to get to the Sweet 16?
That would be really cool. I do believe, if you remember a couple of years ago, Cleveland State and Wake Forest, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both a 12 and a 13, and they played each other. Now Wake Forest won that game, but it was interesting to see both teams beating the 5 and the 4 to play each other. I thought that was really cool.
I do have SMU and Duke going to the Sweet 16. Now, where I disagree with Jeremiah is on the Duke SMU game. I think Duke's going to beat SMU. Jeremiah was saying he has SMU going to the Elite 8.
I know you hate Duke, but why?
Huh?
Duke will destroy the way they won the ACC tournament as a 5 seed. They
over cockiness, not including they always scoot down either the second or third round into it. This has been their DNA of going for years.
All right,
they haven't made it to the Final 4 yet.
I agree with Tim on the final outcome, except for I have Nova going to the Final 4.
I have Duke going to the Final 4. I'm not saying I have Duke winning the title. I don't. But I have Duke going to the Final 4.
Because when I even did this in high school, Duke and all that, they always choke in the 16 or the 8. They can never make it to the Final 4 or to the title game.
Mm-hmm.
It's been their DNA. Then the here and there fails in the first round. But it's more been 16 in the Elite 8 for Duke.
Yeah.
It's been their Achilles heel.
So, which region you want to go to now, Mr. Bossman?
Let's do the West.
Okay. West it is.
Number one seed in that region, Gonzaga. They only had 2 losses on the year.
Mm-hmm.
And Gonzaga, every year they're a dangerous team come tournament time. It's just they can never get the job done. Looking at other teams in that region, one team that I really love, and I've watched them a lot these last 2 weeks, is Notre Dame. Notre Dame has become, to me, with their football team kind of falling in the last couple of years, they've become more of a basketball school, which to me is kind of interesting. A team that's always prided itself on football has now turned the corner a little bit with their basketball program. Kind of something I was hoping Ohio State could have both, but it looks like rumor has it Thad Matta might be out the door with the
Gary Waters
team.
is gone from Cleveland State too.
He retired though.
Yeah, but still,
Thad Matta might be fired. There's a difference.
So Matt, if you had to pick one game out of this that could be an upset game out of the West, who would it be?
Well, you're going to be surprised. And I have
I think the same thing you do.
Florida Gulf Coast.
I do. That's what I picked.
That's what I was. I have them beating Florida State in the first round.
FGCU, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember what they did a couple years ago.
Yes.
And to me, they have gotten better. So, Florida Gulf Coast, really, they should be. I think they should be the 13th seed, and Bucknell should be. But don't overlook Bucknell, because years ago, they were an upset team as well, and Princeton could do the same thing with Notre Dame. So this is a very interesting region for me, but I really do believe Florida Gulf Coast is going to beat Florida State. Florida State had something great this year, and then they just kind of like South Carolina kept falling. Jonathan Isaac and Dwayne Bacon, they lead that team offensively, but defensively they're just they're non-existent these last couple weeks.
Here's my crazy thing: Xavier taking it out of Maryland.
I was going to pick Xavier too, actually.
I have Maryland winning that game.
I'm actually, because, well, number one, I'm an Xavier fan, but that's beside the point.
I like Xavier too. I like their court. Well,
yes.
The Cavs played on their court when LeBron, the second year LeBron was back.
Xavier plays in what? Conference USA?
No, they're in the Big East.
Are they?
Look it up. They're either in that or the American Athletic Conference.
Okay, let me look. Xavier. So that doesn't tell us anything. Let me see here.
It'll tell you on that. Go up.
It's all lies.
Scroll up.
It is all lies.
No, it doesn't say.
It should say somewhere.
American
AJCU.
No, that's the affiliations.
Oh.
Go to just hit Xavier.
Big East, right here.
Big East, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the Big East.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
I thought they were in the Big East. I thought they could have been the American Athletic Conference, but they're not.
So I do have to give a shout out to Northwestern
for making their first tournament.
The first tournament in 119 years of trying, they made it. Yay! However, I don't know if they're going to make it even past Vandy. Do you have them beating Vandy, Mr. Matt?
No.
I didn't think so either.
I don't. I think Vanderbilt's stronger than... There's a little bit to them. They're more than meets the eye to me.
Vanderbilt's been there, done that. They've been in the tournament how many times?
Yeah, that's true.
Within the past decade. So you take a look at that.
I've got Notre Dame and West Virginia going to winning the first round. What do you have, Matt? You have Notre Dame and West Virginia?
I have Notre Dame actually defeating Gonzaga in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
To play. I know, I had
but we're not there yet.
Well, you have coming out of the second round in that. Gonzaga, Vander, Notre Dame, then Western Virginia.
Oh, okay. So
I think that's going to be that 5-12 and that 4-13. That's going to be so interesting to watch.
I'm picking VCU over St. Mary's.
I am too. I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't pick VCU to make it to the Sweet 16. That's going to be Arizona.
I don't like how Gonzaga and St. Mary's are in the same region. They're in the same conference, and they're the two best teams in their conference, and they're in the same region. I don't like that at all.
Do you have FGCU going to the Sweet 16?
That was actually something I was going to tell you guys. I can't
You can't decide between.
Because I have Maryland beating Xavier, and then I have Florida Gulf Coast defeating Florida State. So, looking at it, I gotta flip a coin. I really do.
I'm picking Xavier. I don't see FGCU's run lasting past the second round.
You know what? Since you said that, I'm gonna say it does. Florida Gulf Coast defeats Maryland.
Okay. And I have Zaga and Notre Dame. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Gonzaga, Notre Dame.
Works.
I have Arizona, Florida Gulf Coast.
Tell me you
really
don't have
bold.
FGCU in the Elite Eight.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Their run stops with
Zona.
with a powerful Arizona
Well, the
team.
lead 8, I got Notre Dame and Arizona. Then Arizona taking it to Notre Dame.
I think so too. I don't think Zaga makes it past the Sweet 16. I think they're the first one seed that falls.
I do too.
And I agree with Jeremiah's pick for the Final Four. I have two seeds picked so far, but that's okay. I got Duke and Arizona.
This one guy on SportsCenter has Wisconsin in the Final Four. I was like, no. I don't see Wisconsin
An 8
getting...
seed in the Final Four?
Yeah, he does. He has them. I couldn't.
Huh.
I couldn't get myself. I wouldn't mind seeing Wisconsin in the Final Four, but I just can't see that happening.
Jeremiah, which region would you like to go to? You want the South?
Midwest.
Okay, Midwest it is. All right, Matt. Jeremiah, I think we can all agree that Kansas beats the crap out of the 16 seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a easy. Yeah,
Oh, and also, since we're filling these out, put your names on them.
sign them on the bottom.
I'm signing at the top.
I can tell my handwriting. Eventually, I
So can
got
I.
to get white out. I got to touch up a spot
That's fine.
and fix it.
So, if there's one game in here that you see an upset happening, where would it be and why? Matt.
To me, there's only 2 games in this region where really you could call it an upset. Someone told me, or not someone told me, but I saw it on ESPN. Someone said Nevada is a really good team. They're overlooked. They only have like 5 losses on the year. And then also, to me, I just think that Rhode Island is going to give Creighton a really good game.
I was thinking URI.
Rhode Island just got into the tournament. They were one of the final 4 in to the tournament, last 4 in, if you want to call it that.
And I'm actually going to pick URI to beat Creighton. I am.
I can't. I like Creighton too much. Every year I'm a big Creighton guy ever since Doug McDermott went there.
Yeah.
I love Doug McDermott a lot. He plays a lot like, he's the 3-point little white guy. That's me. So that's how I play basketball. So, I mean, I really like Creighton all the time. My big upset comes later in this bracket, but I think the first round, the only real upset I have is Oklahoma State over Michigan.
I was going to pick Oklahoma State, too.
I think Oklahoma State is... Everyone thinks because Michigan's having this great run, winning the Big Ten tournament with the whole plane disaster that they had, getting to Washington, D.C. for
Their
the tournament.
egos are going to get to them.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I have Oregon over Iona. I don't even know where Iona is. Is it Tennessee or something?
I have no idea. We're going to find out. Iona.
I have a clue.
Iona is in New York?
Really?
Really? Huh.
I never heard of them in that, so I'm just going Oregon.
Yeah. I've heard of them, but no. There's no way they beat Oregon. Oregon, whatever you want to pronounce it. I'm going bold with some upsets this year. Like I have 2 or 3 upsets per bracket, I think.
And that works.
Well, this year there's no real clear-cut champion.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could argue Villanova, but then you could have the same argument for North Carolina, so
Or Kansas.
or Kansas,
yeah.
or even Gonzaga and Duke.
So, I know Nevada's a good team. You're not picking... Are you picking Nevada?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't either.
Iowa State won the Big 12. They've had a great year. They should be a 4 or a 3 seed in this region. I have good things to come for Iowa State.
What about you, Jeremiah? What are we looking at over on your bracket?
Right now, the Sweet 16, Kansas, Peru, Creighton, then Louis.
You have Creighton going to the Sweet 16,
Yeah.
okay. You know, I just don't see any real huge upsets in here. I do have MSU, Michigan State over Miami.
Because you never
I
see
don't.
Oregon out there that many times in the brackets in many years, so...
I have Oregon in the Sweet 16. I'm actually going to put Iowa State in the Sweet 16.
I did too.
I like that matchup against Purdue for Iowa State. And then I don't see Michigan State beating Kansas. And then Oklahoma State, Louisville. I'm going to go with Louisville. What do you have for the Elite Eight here, Matt?
I have my first major upset in Iowa State defeating Kansas.
Really? Okay.
Iowa State beat Kansas in Kansas this year.
That's true.
So, to me, and they won the Big 12, and Kansas lost to TCU in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe that Iowa State's on a roll, kind of similar to Michigan, but I think Iowa State's a better basketball team all around. I have them in the Elite Eight. Playing Louisville, and I have Louisville going to the Final Four.
I also think Iowa State's going to beat Kansas.
Yeah,
Basically the same reasoning that you had.
yeah. But you have them in the Final Four.
But I'm putting Iowa State in the Final Four.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
It's the one spot we disagree on.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Louisville fan come basketball. So,
Yeah. They're going, fall down to Kansas.
you think Kansas going to the Final Four?
Yeah.
I don't think Iowa State's going to make the title game, but it's at least worth a look.
Mm.
Now to the South.
Who do you have coming out? Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay. Going to the Final Four. So who's your Final Four so far?
Arizona, Kansas, then Villanova.
Okay.
I have Duke, Arizona, and Iowa State.
Jeez.
I don't have a 1 seed yet going.
I have
into that.
Villanova, Arizona, and Louisville.
But that's about to change because I think UNC is going to come out of the South.
You think?
Yeah.
They're not known that much for basketball.
Who, UNC?
Yeah, or that one.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
That's all right.
I'm picking all of the 16 seeds to go to the Final Four. That would be the greatest tournament, wouldn't it?
It would.
That would make me so happy.
The day 16 beats a 1 is the day I'm totally happy.
Oh, I will jump for joy. I don't care who it is. If South Dakota State defeated Gonzaga, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because then,
How many brackets are busted after that?
there would be like 6 out of millions that would be perfect still. I love that. When Duke lost a couple years ago, it went down to like 88 perfect brackets or something like that.
Yeah.
When Duke lost to like Pacific or something like
Right.
that, it was fantastic. So,
Do you have an upset game in here?
yes, I do.
What is it?
Middle Tennessee over Minnesota.
You and I are always thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think Middle Tennessee. They're the team that beat Michigan State last year,
Yeah.
and UNC Wilmington defeated somebody else. So, Middle Tennessee to me, I don't think Minnesota deserves a 5 seed.
I don't think
I think
they do either.
Cincinnati deserved the 5 seed, and I think SMU in the East region deserved the 4 seed for winning their conference tournament. But looking at this region, I like Middle Tennessee. MTSU is at Middle Tennessee
Yeah.
State, and then Winthrop's going to give Butler a game.
But
Yeah.
you think
But
Butler's
going to win.
Yeah.
And I got Wichita State over Dayton.
Yeah, I like the Wichita State pack. I mean, Wichita State only lost 4 games the entire season.
Yeah, but guess who Villanova has 4 losses.
Yeah.
2 of those were to Butler.
I just wish Kent State was actually playing someone
Other than Lonzo Ball
Yeah.
and UCLA in the first round.
Dayton, that would be interesting.
That's Friday night at 9:57.
That would be
St.
interesting.
Patrick's Day. The luck of the Irish. Is there anyone Irish on Kent State?
No.
Because if there was, maybe they'd win that game. But
It would be interesting, Dayton and Kent State.
It would be interesting.
It would be closer achieved that maybe Kent State would have maybe pulled something off.
So North Carolina, I have over Texas Southern. Seton Hall over Arkansas.
I have Arkansas over Seton Hall.
I really think Seton Hall's a good team. Middle Tennessee over Minnesota. Butler over Winthrop. Cincinnati they're gonna destroy Kansas State. UCLA's gonna win by 35 over Kent State.
You heard it here first. They'll win by 35.
Wichita State's gonna win. If Kent State defeated UCLA, they're winning the national championship. That would be like that would happen. I can't see it not happen. If that's one of the toughest teams in this tournament is UCLA, and if Kent State won, that would just be amazing. And then Wichita State over Dayton, Kentucky over Northern Kentucky.
Who do you have going to the Sweet 16?
I have North Carolina and Butler playing each other, and UCLA and Kentucky.
I have UNC Butler. Sorry, Middle Tennessee State. You're not ETSU. You don't get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
UCLA, they're going to destroy Cincinnati by 25.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Although Cincinnati's they've been playing better as of late. They got to
They're still gonna get
they got to the
destroyed.
conference championship game against SMU.
They're still going to get destroyed.
And there's still I don't why is Dayton in the tournament? I don't get it.
Wichita State, Kentucky actually intrigues me a little bit.
It does, because Wichita State, when they were the 1 seed a couple of years ago, Kentucky beat them as an 8 seed, and they were undefeated going into the tournament.
Right.
Kentucky was their first and only loss. So do you think there's some bad blood between those two?
I think Wichita State could pull that out.
They really
I
could.
really do.
They could, but Kentucky just has a powerful freshman class this year with Malik Monk, possibly being a top 10 draft pick in the NBA. And I'm looking forward to a Kentucky-UCLA matchup.
I'm torn between these two, but I think I'm going to go Kentucky. I like Wichita State here, but I think in the end the freshman class is going to be too much.
Yeah. I mean, Wichita State lives by the three-point shot
and dies by the three-point shot.
And Kentucky is a good defensive team. So,
okay, UNC is going to beat Butler by 15 points. You heard it here first.
Okay.
And I don't think Lonzo Ball can do enough to save UCLA.
I do.
I don't think he can.
I really do.
Next year, if his brother and that comes in, maybe.
He's going in the NBA.
You think he's going straight to the...
Oh, Lonzo's going, yeah. He's a top 3 pick. Some people are saying the guy from Washington is supposed to go first, and Lonzo Ball's supposed to go second.
Okay, well, let me just say this. I am actually going to pick UCLA.
That's who I picked, yeah.
But let me just remind you guys of something.
Huh.
If UCLA wins the national title, we're not going to hear the end of it.
I know.
From Kyle.
Because Kyle's going to be bragging about it for the entire rest of the semester.
Yeah.
Because he's what?
Because he's a bandwagon fan.
Yeah. He's a classic bandwagon fan. I do not see UCLA defeating UNC. You probably disagree, but...
I do. Sorry, this is Kyle. This is where I agree with you. I have UCLA going to the Final Four. And I actually have UCLA defeat. All right, let's go to the Final Four here.
Am I the only one that has only one seed making it to the Final Four?
Yes. No, actually, I'm with you on that. But my 1 seed's different.
I only
from
got
yours.
2.
I have Villanova in the Final Four.
Oh, okay.
And I have Villanova, Arizona, Louisville, UCLA. I have Nova defeating Arizona, and UCLA defeating Louisville in the Final Four.
You see, I have Duke and UNC.
That would be a heck of a national championship game.
I have a Tobacco Road Final Four, or a national title game.
That would be a really good game.
And you know what? UNC was here last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they lost to Villanova.
I don't see them losing this time.
Yeah.
I think Roy Williams is going to beat Coach K, make Jeremiah very happy. He's nodding his head yes. That means
I'm a big fan of North Carolina, just because of their rich history. I just think it's very respectable. I hate Duke. Probably not as much as Jeremiah, but I don't like Duke just because I just like North Carolina better. And I think
they're
Duke's
more respectable over Duke. Except then I have North Carolina going down to Kentucky.
Okay.
That could happen. Interesting
If
enough.
Kentucky even gets there.
Yeah. Interesting enough, in this South Regional, North Carolina, UCLA, and Kentucky all played each other this year. And the winningest team out of that was UCLA. UCLA defeated Kentucky on their home floor. And Kentucky beat North Carolina in a neutral site. And then I think UCLA beat North Carolina. So...
Okay. So we've made it to the title game. I pick UNC. You pick who?
I have Villanova defeating UCLA.
Nova? Okay.
I have Nova.
And who'd you pick, Jeremiah?
I'm going to go Villanova
Okay.
over Kentucky.
Okay. Very interesting.
So we both have the same national champion, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
I'm going to laugh
Sit
if
there,
Nova
look.
loses.
In like the second round of Wisconsin.
Yeah. If Nova loses, I'm just going to sit here and laugh. At least I don't destroy both of your brackets.
I can't. I think Villanova is a complete basketball team. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. They have a lot of good players on their team. They're coached really well, and I just
They don't have anyone dangerous until the Elite Eight.
yeah. And Duke, I just
No, I don't see Duke. I see Duke falling Sweet 16.
I think Duke is too good, but at the same time, Villanova is a better team, and they're one of the best teams in this tournament. I think they're the best.
Mm-hmm. It's all lies.
It is all lies. I picked UNC to cut down the nets in Glendale.
Glendale, Arizona.
It would be funny to see Arizona actually do
It would be funny to see Arizona win.
Wins in Arizona. If they get to the Final Four, be careful,
Yeah.
because they're playing at home. So
Okay. So, any other discussion?
actually, I'm going to change all of my picks. No, I'm just kidding.
Are we going to change all of our picks to pick all the lower seeds?
Yeah, we're going to actually have all the 11 seeds in the Final Four. Every 11 seed. Providence, Xavier, Rhode Island, and Kansas State. They're all going to go
And Kansas State wins the national title.
And
right?
Kansas State wins it. Actually, Kent State comes out of that region. Kent State, Golden Flashes.
For the win.
And Winthrop.
And Winthrop. Okay, guys, we'll be back momentarily. First, second, four breakers. Well, actually, we're on spring break, so we're only on live stream today.
Yep, nobody's here.
We'll be back momentarily, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Except faculty.